Welcome again to Sharing Gladness. We are really happy to be again here with all of you. 25 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more. But anyways, we are here to discuss, to reflect, to speak about those little or important things. Sometimes little things are also important. People
you
think
just
that
said it.
yes, because they are little, they are not important, but
That's
yes,
right.
they are.
Yes, they are.
So Uzi with me and Yurley. I hope to continue having both of you here.
Thank you very much for having us,
same.
for having me. And I always enjoy to share with you all this time.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's nice to be here. I used to listen and watch the program, so it's great to be here with you both.
Right there from the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Right. And we greet, of course, all those friends who are watching us in the USA, in Asia, in the Philippines, our friends over there. Yes,
Yeah.
they love this program. So may God bless you abundantly. For today, we are going to speak about communication. Communication, sometimes it's not in the way we expect. We think many times one thing, we have one idea, we want to express it, but somehow the message itself doesn't reach the other person in that way we were expecting. So have you ever experienced that?
I was thinking about that because many times you say something, you mean something, and then people didn't get it. And in my case, I have seen some people upset with me because of what I said. And it's so hard to clarify to them, that's not what you meant. And sometimes they just don't believe because they think you are just trying to apologize or to change things. But from the very beginning, you didn't mean that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it happens with simple things in life. For instance, giving just a simple instruction to somebody, and then the other person does it in the wrong way. And you say, no, that was not what I said. And the other person, yes, you said it in that way, or I understood in that way.
Yeah, and even more nowadays, we have instant messages or these applications, which probably most of us, I don't say all of us, but many times we don't use commas, we don't use dots, we don't use expression marks, so we don't
Sometimes
use
even
question
not
marks.
complete words.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. We imagine we are typing the word, but we didn't type it, and we believed we did,
Well,
and so on.
in my list for today about problems for communication, we have technology, right?
Okay.
Technology, because we lack body language today. Yes, when we are trying to communicate through technology.
Yeah.
We don't have the tone, we don't have facial expressions, and that can lead people to miscommunication, to be misinterpreted, right? Sometimes that's why those emoticons, yes, they are very important because they can help you.
Now we have stickers.
Yes, they can help you to convey the right message. Sometimes when you just write words, and more if you don't have good punctuation, people can understand it in
different
very rude
completely.
way. Yes,
Yeah.
or well, it causes many problems. So one way to resolve that is to try to go to the old-fashioned way of communication. More importantly, when it is for those issues that are, very special, that have great importance. So try face-to-face communication.
Yeah.
Try to speak personally, because sometimes you want to do it right away. You don't want to wait, but
Absolutely.
I think it's good sometimes to do it.
And now that you mentioned the technology, I think we have instant messages, of course, text messages, but we also have video chat. So it could be, it's close to face, I guess. However, the other day I was watching a video, just a parenthesis. Sometimes you are having the video conference or a video call, but you don't look at the camera. You look at the person on the screen.
Uh-huh.
But that doesn't make eye contact. So in the video, the man built a camera that was set right in the middle of the screen of I think it was a laptop.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Because many times you look at yourself.
at yourself, or like
And you don't look at
Exactly.
the other person.
So he invented this, or he made up this, and definitely the way the video call went was way better, because you were watching at the same time the person, and it appears that you were talking face to face because you had eye contact.
Yes, that's beautiful.
So I think it could be close. You can still see your facial expressions.
Yeah.
Still not the same. Still
No,
not the same.
but I was thinking about the time nowadays, because sometimes you don't have the time for that, so you prefer a text message. But I remember
a voice message.
Yeah, could be. I remember a teacher who said, always that you write, don't think in yourself. Think in the person who's going to read.
Read it.
yes.
Think you are going to read that message, so try to make it as clear as possible. Because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I know it's faster at least audio message.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want to write. You don't want.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to
Or
pronounce.
you can't speak, so
Yeah.
it is
Also.
easier to write down. But yes, we should go over the message to review it, to
No.
double check it. We should.
No, I
We
think that's not
should.
very common. But when you
No,
make
it's not
mistakes,
common, but
when
we
you make
should.
mistakes, then you start like saying, "This is important. I should just double check what I just typed."
And we just send the message sometimes, and after it is sent,
Delete.
wow, yeah. and then the person starts
Why?
wondering why he
Why did you change
erased
it?
that. So, in fact, indeed, miscommunication can ruin relationships if we don't improve it, if we don't work on it, right?
Yeah.
So what is miscommunication? It's a situation where there is a mistake, a problem in expressing thoughts, yes? Or there is misperception, because sometimes you are a good communicator, but there are people that they just are, like going always in the wrong
Around the
way.
bush.
Yes, they have prejudices.
Yeah, they
So-
don't go straight to the point, or they are not as clear as you would expect.
It should work in both ways, in both senses.
Okay.
A miscommunicated message or word can be, of course, wrongly perceived by the listener, right? And we were speaking about technology as one of those causes for miscommunication, but another one is that sometimes we tend to be judgmental.
Yeah.
So people tend to interpret things always in the negative way.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you said it because this and this
Yeah.
and this, and you wanted to offend me and you wanted to make me feel bad. But no, not always.
That's true. I think many times we reply. I don't know if, as you said, with prejudices, like you are already in the defensive mode. Like,
Yes.
why did he say that? Why did she write that?
Trying to find out
And I
second
think
intentions.
we made
Yeah,
up the
we made-
reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said it because of this, or she said it because of this.
That's
Yes.
right. Many times it's like that.
And it's far from the truth many times, but
Yes.
we go like that.
So one way to cure that is always asking for clarification. So, for instance, you just told me something, and I was like, "Wow, maybe she has an issue,
what did she
against
mean?
me." So, instead of making a conclusion, right, all of a sudden,
And
I
saying,
should.
it's okay, don't worry.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
But you are not. So I should ask, okay, what you meant was this and this and this, just to clarify if what I understood is really what she wanted to express to me. But we don't do it very often.
Sometimes it's because I believe it's because of shame, or you are not like, you don't feel like saying it again, or you feel ashamed or like repeating because she would or he would think I am not very intelligent to
Yes, that you
understand.
have problems to understand, and no, it shouldn't be like that.
Or sometimes we are proud
Yeah.
So it could be
Many
any
reasons.
reason.
Yeah, I think also if you are offended already, even if the other person didn't want to offend you, but you are offended already, you don't want clarification. You want your right to be upset. So you want to, well, we want to stay like that.
That's true. Well, another problem is that sometimes we want to get involved. We want, whether we really want or not, but we get involved in unhealthy conversations. So unhealthy conversations are those ones where we want to make statements or arguments just to demonstrate that we know, just to demonstrate that we win, right? That we always win.
We're right.
Yes, that we are right. So we love debates, even about things that we never can find a definite conclusion, but we love getting involved in those kind of things.
I think that's something natural on human beings. Trying to have the reason or trying to have the truth
to demonstrate that you're right and the other person is
wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that seems like the beginning of the world, I guess. But that could lead us to toxic conversations and even losing friends, or, as you said, losing people.
It's a waste of time.
Indeed. We should invest our time in better things. And if you know, for instance, the person or your friend or, I don't know, anyone, is that kind of person that loves debating and loves going around and around and will never end up, don't do it. Just, that person is like that and say, okay, think as you want. And that's it.
Yes, a conversation shouldn't be a way to demonstrate who wins.
Yeah.
But it should be of edification for the ones who are involved, right? So avoid unhealthy conversations, please. And then you will be safe from those misconceptions, misperceptions, right? Another cause, inability to speak or write effectively. Sometimes it is natural for people not to be very good communicators, to have problems to express what they want.
Right.
So we could work on that. Do you agree or not? Can we improve
absolutely
our communication?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit hard because I think we speak the way we are. Our personality is involved even in when we are speaking.
Express ourselves.
And if you are too shy, then you have to explain yourself and you don't want to. You don't feel like doing so. So I think it's hard, but it is possible. Yeah, you just have to work on it.
It just brings to my mind yesterday when we were heading home, my son, Adrian, he asked a question and he said, "Mommy, could you explain to me what a stepmother means?" So like, oh. So my wife started explaining. And she said this and that. And for instance, if that person loses her mother and her father finds a new wife and so on, she tries, of course, to explain as plain and simple as possible. And at the end he said, I didn't get it. Can you explain it again?
Oh, that's good.
So I try to help her. But to communicate sometimes is not that easy. And one of the things that I have found is that to use the right word or term is very key. Many times, I'm sorry if I...
That's the next one. No, but
okay.
I love it. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Many times we have difficulties in having a good communication or getting a job done or a task done because simply I didn't use the right word.
Yes.
Because I thought you would know that word mean this or that. And the other day I was home and my wife said, I need a flat, what was the word she used? In Spanish was a kind of vaso plano, like a flat glass. I said, a flat glass? I was like, did you mean dish? The flat dish? Or... And I did like the question, what do you mean? Can you be more specific? I said, a cup. I said, okay. So she meant a cab, but not very tall, but kind of short, tall cab.
Yeah.
So terms are...
sometimes we use unfamiliar terms, and that's another problem for communication, especially when people are, those beginners, in a company or at school or in a project, and then the new person comes and you start speaking with all those
technical words.
Vocabulary words that person just don't get it because they are not familiar with that. So we, the ones who consider experts, the ones who consider that have experience in communicating things with those very technical terms, or even as we were speaking about the previous cause, which was the inability to speak or to write properly.
Limitations, probably.
Yeah, if we find a person that is struggling with that, if we are good communicators, we should help that person. We should identify what the problem for that person is, and to help the person. If that person is shy, like Yuglei said, if that person finds really, really tough to speak or to write, well, let's help her.
But let's help that person to speak by themselves, because sometimes you just try to put words into what they are saying. She meant this. No, she didn't mean
it. Absolutely. That's a good point.
Find the balance.
Don't speak on others' behalf. Allow them to speak, or even help them to find the word and
the moment, maybe.
And you need patience to do it.
Absolutely.
You need to be calm to allow the other person to express with enough time what they want.
Yes,
so
that's
we
important.
can do much more for not only for us to be better communicators, but for others.
I was thinking about what you said, maybe in a company, but I was thinking in the Christian, let's say, environment. Sometimes we take for granted, like everyone who comes to the church understand what we are talking about.
Yes.
And many times people who are newcomers, they don't know, they don't get it, and you just go like, you know this and this, and they don't know.
That's
take the time to explain or to speak in easier words. And
we don't mean only concerning the preacher that is delivering the message, but you as a friend, because you're not from the world, you are in the world, but you excuse me. What do you mean, the world?
So one way to find a solution for that problem is to always use simple words. There are people that think that they can be more intelligent or show themselves more intelligent, more interesting if they use very complicated words. Yes, and it's not true. The good communicators would always use simple words that can be understood by the little child or by
adults.
The greatest professional, the adult.
Yeah.
Okay. Being a good listener has always been a critical component of a good conversation, right? Because a poor listener is usually distracted and miss important communication. So part of being a person that really, really loves and knows how to communicate is being a good listener. Sometimes you are listening, but you are not indeed.
No.
You are just trying to find out what you want to reply to that person, but you are not paying attention to what the person is saying.
Well, that's true. Sometimes you think because you are attentive, you are listening, but you are just considering, what am I going to say? I should advise her or advise him this and that. And sometimes what the person says next is what you thought is the advice already. She just wants you to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Many times, well, Pastor has already said it. You come to me to find the advice, right? But you have the advice. and sometimes he says, like, I just need to listen to you, and that's it. You yourself will find out the answer. And a good listener, in my case, I would say it's the person who listens attentively and is not interrupting, and besides is getting in that person's shoes. Like you could be present, but you could be thinking in so many other things. But when you put yourself in the person, like, for instance, if I talk to Sister Olga, I know her background, I know what she does, I know many things about her, so I try to
relate to what
exactly.
Interrupting is one of the biggest problems, yes, for communication. I have seen that a lot. And we indeed need to find the cure for that.
And sometimes you wanted to be heard and you just heard the other person.
Yeah.
But I've been always now also in the position of listening to another person and listening and listening and listening. And
you would like to talk.
Yeah, I would like to give a piece of advice, but the person doesn't allow me because never
balance
stops.
is always necessary.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah, so if you want to really speak to somebody else, it is good to express yourself and to take out everything you have inside, that turmoil, but allow the other person to tell you something that can be a blessing to you.
Yes.
So we can be in both positions.
Yeah.
One day, you can be the person that is talking a lot, that needs to be heard.
Listened.
Yeah. But then, if you are going to speak, also allow the other person to express himself or
Freely.
herself. Yeah.
Freely.
Really.
To feel important also in that communication.
Yeah. And in the worst case, if you see that the person really needs to talk, but the person is so shy that doesn't find a way, pray and ask God for wisdom, for the right moment, to try to help that person to express what he or she needs. And that's the program for today.
I think there's a lot more to talk about on this topic, but one of the things that before we finish is our relationship with human beings is always going to be a bit complicated. Let us try not to make it too complicated.
Yeah.
And if we're given these tips, it's because we have already experienced it, and we have worked on improving it. However, we find that it still happens sometimes, but don't give up. Try to always be a good communicator, and even more with God.
Yes.
God is always going to listen to you. He's not going to interrupt you, and be clear to God. Be, specific about what you want, about your desires, about your problems, about anything.
And I would say take risks also in talking to people. Sometimes because we think people won't understand us, then we lack ourselves. So let's try to keep on, even if sometimes we have been misunderstood, let's try again, let's say it again.
Take the risk.
Yes, we need to work on that. In the same way we work out, we want a better body, a healthier body. We also want healthier relationships.
Yes.
And communication is a very important part.
I'm sorry. That's me.
It's okay.
Accidents.
It's a very important part to build healthy relationships, communication. So thank you for being with us, and we will be here again in Sharing Gladness, waiting for you to reflect about all that is happening in our lives. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.